What's up, everyone? It's time to reload with Fragoso Entertainment. So I ended up getting a really great comment on my last video asking if I could break down the core skills that you need to learn if you want to take Apex Legends serious. So starting off with the first thing is you need to actually become really good at understanding the game's core fundamentals and gameplay mechanics, which are going to be, for example, aim, movement, positioning, game sense, decision making, team play, communication, and then we also have mental and consistency. So now let's break this down, right? Starting off with aims and mechanics. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you become really good at your aim. And the way you're going to be able to become extremely good at aiming in Apex Legends is, one, you need to choose the correct sense that you want to play on. For me, I play 4-3 linear with a small dead zone. Obviously, some people play with no dead zone. I think this is the best setting to play for anybody because that right there is going to allow you to see your natural aim. I used to play 4-3 classic, but then when I switched over to 4-3 linear small dead zone, I was able to improve really well at my aim because it's just my natural aim. So now the next thing you need to do is you need to get familiar with each weapon's recon pattern in this game, and also you need to stay up to date on what is the current meta weapons for the specific season. For example, last season was all about shotguns. So if you're using something that was not a shotgun like a SMG in a close quarter combat fight, you are more than likely going to lose that fight due to the fact that shotguns was dominating the meta and outputting the most damage in close quarter combat fight. Now this season has really good weapons such as the L-Star, the Rampage, SMGs are performing really well in this meta. Also, we do have the EVA 8, which is performing really well in this meta. So these are just some of the weapons, for example, that are extremely good in this meta. Now, the next thing you need to do in order to improve your aim in this game is you need to go into the firing range and you need to shoot your guns at the dummies as well as every target that is available within the firing range. One of the best things I tell people to do is to make sure that they put the dummies on Mythic and then also have the dummies doing random strafe patterns, because one way you're going to get good at fighting targets that are strafing from left to right is being able to shoot the targets while falling the way that they are strafing. So if you have a target that is going to be strafing right, you need to strafe right with the target. If they strafe left, you need to strafe left. You need to sit there and be able to understand how the strafing pattern is going to be working for those targets. Now keep in mind, when you are fighting people, they might seem like they're moving extremely fast to you, but in reality they're moving at the set character speed that is available in Apex Legends. The only reason why they seem like they're moving so fast is because you're not focusing on that just specific target alone. You have to understand, for example, if you were to look at a fan with spinning blades, if you were just to look at the fan as a whole, it's going to look like it's really fast. But if you were to actually just hone in and just focus on one specific blade of the fan, you'll notice that the fan is moving at the same speed and not increasing speed. It's just moving really fast. So you have to just focus directly on your target when you're fighting that target, and that is how you're going to be able to track the target. Now, how you can become really good at tracking targets for 1v1 duels is you can either download R5 if you're playing on PC, or just 1v1 people in the range every single day consistently. That's another way that you're also going to be able to get better at your aim in Apex Legends, is you have to be consistent. You have to stay disciplined to know that you're going to get on the game every single day. No matter if it's 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever, and just hop into the range and just practice. You're never going to get good if you do not put the work in and practice. Practicing is the key to becoming really good at Apex Legends. Now, another tip that I want to give you when it comes to fighting targets or just becoming really good in this game for your aim is being able to get better at switching targets. And obviously how you switch targets, so let's say for example when you load into the range, you'll notice all the targets right in front of you. Shoot at the left target, shoot at the target up in your top right, shoot at the bottom target in your bottom right, shoot at the target in your top left, and be able to switch back and forth between those targets. Also, when you are fighting, don't grab your controller and be like really tension on your controller. Like, you want to have less tension. Relax. You are playing a video game. Another thing you need to really get good into, what goes into like your mental, is when you're fighting somebody, don't get in your own head. If you are able to one clip somebody, understand that you can one clip somebody again. Another thing you need to do while you're fighting is to stop panicking. You will see so many people when they are getting to a gunfight, they're just spraying everywhere because they're panicking. Relax. Hone your mind. Like Ash said, hone your mind to a razor edge. When you are fighting, you need to understand that your mind needs to be in a way where you're looking at a pond and you can see your reflection in that pond. When you're like that, you're in that flow state where you're going to be able to sit there and say, yo, I have the confidence and the ability to one clip people. I have the confidence and the ability to win this fight. But when you sit there and you're all panicking, that pond starts to have ripple effects where you're not going to be playing at your highest level and being able to sit there to kill targets in this game. And another thing, we'll talk about this more when it comes to the mental side of what you need to focus on for Apex Legends, is when you get shit on, it is okay. Everybody gets shit on, bro. Don't get in your own head, bro. Just say, yo, I got shit on, and then you just sit there and learn from mistakes. So that right there is how you're going to be able to improve at your aim. Now, the next thing you need to focus on is you need to focus on just learning the game's basic movement mechanics, which, for example, is like a wall bounce or like a bunny hop or just these type of smaller movement mechanics. Obviously, you have movement players out there, but I've noticed this anytime that I grind R5, that a lot of players will focus specifically on doing the most insane, crazy movement, and then they'll just get instant beam because I'm really good at tracking. Like me, I don't have the greatest movement in the game, but I have a balance when it comes to having decent movement, and then I also have a balance when it comes to having really good aim. So they're just balancing each other out. Don't just focus on one over the other. Now, another thing I want to tell you, what makes good players from bad players is good players know how to utilize their movement in specific situations. Bad players will just sit there and just do movement just to do movement. At some point in time, all that movement is going to cost you your life in Apex Legends because you don't have the ability to shoot. If you're constantly wall bouncing and doing all this crazy shit, you're just going to do too much and you're just going to die, bro. You have to know when to pull out certain movement tech in certain situations. So let's say, for example, if I'm fighting and I get cracked and my enemy knows that they have a health advantage over me and they're going to slide out to me because I need to reload my gun, what I would do is I would literally slide into a wall and wall bounce and reload the gun in the air. So while they're sliding out under me, they don't know that I'm wall bouncing, and while the gun is reloaded in the air, I can wall bounce and then just look down and just catch them while they're sliding, because you can't shoot while you're sliding. So that is like a movement tech. That's me understanding as a good player, knowing when to pull out that wall bounce. Like, don't just wall bounce just to wall bounce. Understand when you should utilize this and how you can be able to utilize it to get back into cover, to reload your gun. That is going to make you a really good player when it comes to movement tech and understanding that inside of this game. So now we're going to be talking about positioning, how to take smart fights, how to have high ground as cover and use cover as your advantage. Especially in this TTK, majority of people are dying because they are not playing cover. I have a whole video which you can check out after you watch this video, where it talks about how you need to utilize cover in this game so you don't get beamed. Even if it is the most micro piece of cover, you need to make sure that you are literally covering up your body so you don't get beamed. Let's say, for example, right, if there's a box in front of you and then there's an enemy in front of you, and instead of you sitting on the head glitch on the box, you swing out to the left and you're out in the open, you're just going to get beamed because you have no cover and your hitbox is fully exposed. You need to make your hitbox, which is going to be your character's body, as small as possible. So get on a head glitch so you cannot get fully beamed, because the thing that's going to cause you to lose fights in Apex Legends is when you take more damage than you are outputting. So let's say, for example, right, if I output 50 damage but I take 100 damage, my enemy has health advantage in that fight, and more than likely they're going to push me off that damage. That's another thing you need to do as well, is you need to be able to sit there to convert on the damage that you put out to your enemy. Do not let your enemy reset in certain situations, especially if it's down to the last two squads and you're already cracked somebody. Make sure that you're going to put out enough damage to be able to convert that damage into a knock. But while you're going to be converting that damage into a knock, make sure it's a reasonable scenario where you have the ability to push out to convert on that damage. Don't just crack your opponent and then say, yo, my opponent's cracked, I'm about to run out in the fucking open, while the enemy team has a whole fucking angle or triangular position which is gonna fucking beam you for running out in the open and having no cover. You need to have cover in the Apex Legends. Always be looking for spots that are safe. When you prioritize spots that are safe, you're going to stay alive in this game. Another thing you need to focus on for positioning is, like I said, you need to know when to push and when to hold. Certain point in times, I would see so many people get tunnel vision. Even I get tunnel vision as a really good player, where I'll be so focused on because I cracked a single target, and then I'll just walk out in the open and I'll just get beamed from everybody. Especially when you're playing BR, do not give up God spot to go get greedy for a couple kills, because you have to understand, there are other players available in the game that will pick up that kill for you. So don't just run out just to be able to sit there to pick up that kill. Also, try to avoid starting a mid-game fight when you are playing BR, because if you start a mid-game fight, more than likely everybody that does not have KP from early game is going to rotate into that mid-game fight, and you're just going to be getting shot from every single direction. Also, you need to know how to rotate the map, understanding when to rotate to the map into a good position and when to not rotate the map. So for example, right, if you're playing Apex Legends and you're getting shot at by an enemy team that is holding you out inside of zone because you have to rotate inside of zone, if you have enough syringes, you might just have to say fuck it and rotate back into the zone and then run out to a further position to rotate back into the zone, because that's what you're going to have to do, because at some point in time, especially in higher lobbies, you're going to get gate kept, so you're going to have the ability to take different rotations. Also, when you're rotating the map, try to rotate in areas where you believe people are not going to be fighting at. Don't rotate directly into a fight, because if you rotate directly into the fight while you're coming out of storm, you're going to have to heal up and then you're just going to be weak. Another thing you need to do is you need to avoid bad fights. Nothing pisses me off more when I'm solo queuing ranked BR and then we get some kills early game and then my random just wants a W key every single fight and then they just get shit on. Bro, you are not that guy, bro. More than likely you're not going to be able to 1v3 everybody in the fucking lobby, bro. So you also need to drop your ego. That's another thing. I see so many players, bro, that are hard stuck Diamond 4 that have this massive fucking ego that think they're the best player in the world. Bro, you are not that good, bro. And listen, I get it. Everybody has an ego. I have an ego, but I understand how to keep my ego in check to the point where I know, like, I'm really good at Apex Legends, but there's people out there that are better than me that makes me want to improve to get better at the game. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about game sense and decision making. So you need to have the ability to be able to read the kill feed and have map awareness. Nothing pisses me off as well when I'm solo queuing and then my random's like, well, I don't look at my mini-map. Why the fuck are you not looking at your mini-map, bro? Your mini-map is one of the most important things in the game. It's going to allow you to have the ability to see where your teammates are going to be positioned on the map due to the arrows on the mini-map. Like, I'm constantly opening up my map, I'm constantly opening up my mini-map, and I'm constantly thinking about what is going to be my next move in Apex Legends, because the number one thing you have to understand for Apex Legends is that Apex Legends is chess, not checkers. You need to be thinking 10 steps ahead of your opponents. You need to be able to sit there and have the ability to visualize certain scenarios and outcomes that are going to play out inside of Apex Legends. Like, nothing would make me more mad, especially when I'm solo queuing ranked BR, if I would get on the mic and tell my teammates, hey, we need to sit there and rotate to our right, because if we go to our left, we're going to die from a team that is already know that is going to be coming out to the ring. Like, I already can visualize this and see this happening, and then my randoms don't listen to me, and then they go to the left and they just die. So you need to understand that. You need to have the ability to have good decision making. When it comes to playing Apex Legends, always understand that nothing else matters but the game that you're playing right now. Like, if you're playing Apex Legends during a game, especially in ranked, bro, you need to be locked the fuck in, bro. No fucking text messages matter, no fucking whatever's going on Twitter, bro, whoever's talking to you in the background, that shit does not matter. Tone all that shit out and make sure that you're only focused directly on the game in Apex Legends. You need to focus and hone your mind, like Ash says all the time. Hone your mind to a razor edge. So the next thing that we're going to be focused on is knowing when to third party the right way. For example, if a mid-game fight is going on and it just started, do not be the first person to go into that fight, bro, while they're still fighting. Wait until there's knocks. And also, understand as a mid-game fight, when the fight starts off, everybody, like I said earlier, is going to rotate into that fight that does not have kills. Also, make sure, like I said, you're waiting for knocks. Wait till the enemy team knocks maybe 1 to 2 before you go push into that fight, because you'll throw away a great third-party opportunity by sitting there being too greedy and not waiting for the right moment, by sitting there and trying to get into the fight while they're still fighting. Because if you get into the fight while they're still fighting, more than likely the teams are just going to look at you, or one team is just going to stop fighting and look at you and the other team's just going to get away from free, and you might die for that. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is when to reset and when to commit to a fight. So for example, if you're getting into a gunfight and you get cracked, bro, do not ego chow the fight, bro. If you have time to get a heal off, make sure you get that heal off and get in cover, because more than likely you're going to die trying to ego chow a fight. You have time to reset. Learn when you have the time to be resetting inside of Apex Legends. Obviously, this all comes down to gameplay experience and just being able to be in those situations, because if you're not in those situations, you'll never be able to sit there to understand that. Another thing I'm going to say right now, what you need to focus on for Apex Legends, especially when you get to higher lobbies, you need to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Being in those high tier lobbies, and I'm talking about those lobbies with fucking Imperial How, multiple 3-stack Prez, multiple pro teams, you are going to be put in the most uncomfortable situation you can ever be put in inside of Apex Legends. Do not panic. Panicking in Apex Legends is the #1 way to get yourself killed. Also, don't hesitate. trust your gut, because as soon as you hesitate and you panic in this game, you're going to die. Because people that are really good at Apex Legends, that they can tell and smell blood in the water like a shark when they know you're hesitating, is just gonna punish you for that shit, and they're just gonna fucking kill you and wipe you and send you back to the lobby. Like, you gotta understand that. Another thing we're gonna be talking about, which is going to go into our mental inconsistency, is, like I said earlier, you need to make sure that you're staying focused every single game of Apex Legends. Yes, there are going to be games in Apex Legends where you're just gonna have bad games, bro. There was one game where my random came into the game and was just like, yo man, we're gonna get shit on, bro, and the next thing you know, the entire game are running around the fucking map. Also, understand the law of attraction. Do not go into a game of Apex Legends telling yourself you're going to get fucking shit on, because if you have that mindset, that is the law of attraction, you're going to sit there and you are going to get shit on, and you're not going to be able to rank up. The next thing you want to have is you're going to have the ability to be able to be in a good mental mind state. If you get shit on, if you get 1v3, it's okay. Trust me, I've been there before where I've got 1v fucking 3'd. I've been on TikTok, I've been on YouTube getting on fucking shit on. It is what it is, bro. Everybody gets shit on in Apex Legends. Everybody gets 1v3'd, bro. It's a part of the game, bro. There's nothing you can do about it. When you lose and you get shit on, understand is like, alright, let me just watch my VOD. Make sure you're watching your VOD and understanding to yourself, why did I die in this situation? How could I have played this situation better? How could I have play my life better? Obviously, you need to make sure that you're playing your life in this game. You need to make sure that you're always focusing on yourself, because the number one thing obviously a lot of people do is they'll try to focus too much on playing somebody else's game, which will end up getting themselves killed. You need to focus on your own game, hone in your game, and then understand how to incorporate your game when it comes to playing with other people. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about with dealing with bad teammates and staying composure. Listen, if you solo queue rank PR, bro, you are going to get stuck with dickheads, bro. You are going to get stuck with assholes that are going to fucking talk mad shit, bro, say they're the best player in the world. Yo, if they're doing that, just fucking mute these motherfuckers, bro. It makes no sense to get on the mic and argue with these people. Yes, I mean, I do it on live stream because obviously I'm a content creator, and it just makes for some funny moments. At some point in time, you just really got to tell people to shut the fuck up. Like, there was, for example, I was inside the ring, bro, and my ring is like, oh, Ray, go do this, go do that, and I had to get on the mic, and I'm like, yo, bro, shut the fuck up. Let me concentrate to get you guys back alive in the game. Like, if you know that you're way better than your teammates, and you have to be the person to save your randoms that ended up dying, just mute these motherfuckers that are talking shit, bro. Like, don't get into the conversation, because when you start to argue with motherfuckers in Apex Legends, you're focusing on arguing with your dumbass teammates instead of actually focusing on the game and going positive. So keep that in mind. Like I said, there's going to be people out there that's going to talk shit. I mean, majority of the time, you might run across these people. There is going to be some point in times where you'll run across some really cool people. Obviously, for me, I don't really use my mic as much, but sometimes I will use my mic. Another thing you need to do is you need to sit there and start using your pings. You need to ping where the enemy's at if you're not using your mic. Obviously, I understand some people just don't want to get on the mic and talk to random people. Use your pings, bro. Understand every ping that is available in the game and utilize them, because utilizing your ping is a way of communication. How Apex Legends was built and why the ping system is so good is that Respawn Entertainment, when they were developing Apex Legends, they sat there and they built the game and had the ability to be able to play the game without them communicating. That is why the ping system is really, really good, and you're actually able to win the game with really good players without communicating. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about why most players plateau and how to avoid it. The reason why majority of players plateau in Apex Legends is because they don't stay consistent and they don't stay disciplined. If you stay consistent and you stay disciplined and show up every single day, you will never plateau, because that right there is going to allow you to always stay as consistent as possible. Even though, for example, let's say you can't get on the game every single day, try to grind the game as much as possible. You are never going to be better than somebody that is grinding the game and you're not consistently grinding the game. Like, for example, me, I took off 2 days from playing Apex Legends, but I still came back and was consistently grinding the game every single day for 8 hours. Obviously, I know most people can't grind the game for 8 hours. I can do it because it's my job. But most people, if you can't do that, at least try to put in about 4 to 6 hours. Like, I knew somebody that literally had a whole blue-collar job and family, but was still really good at Apex Legends because they would grind the game for maybe about 2 to 3 hours almost every single day. So by building that consistent pattern and that rhythm, they were able to actually stay consistent at the game and be able to improve. And the next thing we are going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about team play and communication. Like I stated earlier, you need to be able to ping effectively, and you also need to be really good at shot calling. Obviously, if you don't want to be an IGO, you don't have to be an IGO, but if you have an idea in your head that you know it's going to benefit the team, get on your mic and just call it out, because people can't read your mind, bro. So you gotta make out the call, because I do that sometimes too. If I have an idea inside of my head that I know is really, really well, I just turn on the mic and I just communicate it no matter what my randoms are saying. Obviously, you need to know how to position yourself around teammates, because understanding that there are going to be teammates that are going to try to do everything. If there's teammates that are pushing off by themselves and they don't want to play as a team, fuck them. But if there are going to be teammates where their one ability to be able to help you and just assist you in certain fights, be able to understand how to learn how to play off different teammates. I recommend solo queuing in Apex Legends, being able to learn this, because you're going to play with multiple different people that have different play styles, and then when you have the ability to play with different people that have different play styles, you're just going to be able to understand how to play in certain situations, as well as when it comes to being able to play with different people that play the game differently. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about, reviving and resetting without throwing. You do not want to throw the game, bro. And let's say, for example, right, if you're getting into a gunfight and your teammate says, yo, res me, but you know that there's going to be an enemy team that is right in front of you, do not sit there and res your teammate, bro. Tell your teammate to give you knockdown shield so you have the ability to play cover, and then you can sit there and get back into the fight. Also, make sure you do not throw in this game, bro. Nothing pisses me off more when my randoms will throw. Here's an example of throwing. If we get KP early game, my randoms want to be greedy and consistently keep fighting, and then they're just going to die and throw our RP. You need to play for late game. One of the main things in Apex Legends when it comes to the game is the VR. The main objective is to win the game. You get kills early game, and then you play for late game, you play for the win. That is how you're going to be able to sit there to become extremely good at Apex Legends. Now, these are just some of the examples that I have when it comes to being really good at Apex Legends. Like I said earlier, you need to make sure that you VOD review and ask yourself why you died inside of Apex Legends. If you focus on these core gameplay mechanics, you're going to become really good at Apex Legends. And another thing I want to give you guys, if you're just starting out, is do not compare yourself to a player like me, or do not compare yourself to like Imperial, How, or some of the pros. Because, for example, like me, I've been playing Apex Legends since day one. I've been playing the game consistently for 6 years and have over 11,000 hours in Apex Legends. If you compare yourself to me, you'll never see your smaller growths when you're going to be sitting there starting out and improving at Apex Legends. The way I became extremely good at Apex Legends is I had to put the work in consistently, and I had to grind the game every single day. That is how you're going to get good at Apex Legends. The number one thing you want to make sure when you're playing Apex Legends, just anything in general, is you want to make sure that you're 1% better than you were the previous day. Obviously, you're going to have off days in Apex Legends, but it's alright though. Just don't let those off days affect you, and then if you have a bad day in Apex Legends, because everybody has bad days, doesn't matter if you're playing professional basketball, professional football, just say, hey, I had a bad day, it is what it is, and then get up and just go again for the next day, bro. That is how you're going to become extremely good at Apex Legends. Now, I hope these tips and these core mechanics help out new players that are going to be coming into Apex Legends, that are looking to improve the game and take the game very serious. And make sure you have fun. It is a marathon, not a sprint. You do not want to be stressed out when you're playing Apex Legends, because you are just going to be making the worst possible decisions ever. So just make sure you have fun. Like I said, it's a video game. Enjoy the time, enjoy the process. Overall, if you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. I know it's a longer video because I had to break down a lot of different gameplay mechanics and topics. I hope this video helps people out. If you have any questions, make sure to join our community Discord down below in the description. Also, if you're a fan of brand new hack and slash games, which you've seen earlier in the video, which is called Grim Hope, make sure you head over to our Steam page for Grim Hope and add it to your wish list. If you guys enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the page, and all your notifications turned on so you don't miss an upload. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.